What is going on? How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Wednesday night. It is Ahsoka spoiler review. We're going to get into it. I'm here with Mr. J, myself. We're going to talk Ahsoka, this episode 1 and 2 spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, come back, check this out later on, and let's get ready to go.
Live from LA like the Lakers with a late show. Home of the Dodgers with a palm trees grow. Feeling like Ben Roethlisberger when he went pro. With my stellar fans and everybody, let's go. Magic in the gathering for the ones that don't know. Late night with Suge, y'all turn into the show.
You know, Jay, every time I see that opening, I love it. But I see the dragon tossing my ass, and you were in chat laughing your ass off at me when I got tossed by the dragon.
That's the first time I ever seen something like that. I feel like the dragon had a personal vendetta against you.
just toss me like a rag. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. I hope you're having a great night. Appreciate all of you being here with us as we're going to talk about Ahsoka. Spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen it, make sure to watch it, come back, leave a comment, let us know what you thought, and check us out after you've seen the show. We're going to talk spoilers. We're going to talk Easter eggs. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff. It's going to be real fun. We did this with The Mandalorian, and it was a great time. We had an excellent time with it, and we're going to do it again. Where's my mouse? We're going to do it again, and I'm glad to be here with Mr. JayThe6, who, like myself, we love watching Star Wars. I think Mr. J is a bigger Star Wars fan than I am, personally. Or more in tune to it. I love Star Wars, but I think that Star Wars for me is not my top priority, like not my top fandom, like Marvel, DC, things like that. Dragon Ball Z is probably my top fandom, but Star Wars is one of my favorites, and we're gonna get into all this stuff. So appreciate everybody that's here. Appreciate you checking us out. If you're rewatching this on replay, appreciate it. So before we get into it, Mr. J, real quick, I want to get your thoughts. We initially we knew about Ahsoka coming out, and we were both very surprised. I wasn't into Endor as much. I'll say as much as I more excited about this Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and shows like this. But when you heard we were getting an Ahsoka series, and obviously we saw at in Mandalorian she appeared a couple times. People were excited about it. What were your initial thoughts about Ahsoka coming out and being a show?
I was excited, elated almost, to see Ahsoka Tano coming to the, I guess, big screen, live action. Because seeing her going from young, Snips, or what Anakin called her in Clone Wars, to pretty much a full grown woman now is great. She doesn't. You can see the character development over the years, and she's taking from what she's learned from Anakin before he became Darth Vader. From leaving the Jedi Temple, because they framed her. No, they didn't believe her. She just had to walk away. But yeah, to see her in live action, it's it's about time. It's about damn time.
Yeah.
Like how LeBron said it when he won his first ring.
Yeah, shout out to LeBron James, the Los Angeles Laker. Both me and Jay are Los Angeles fans. Real quick in the chat, just want to say what's up. What's up, Bazel? Hope you're having a great night. I appreciate you
The
being
V.
here. Always a pleasure. Mr. Brandon Buck, my good friend.
What's good,
Thank
bud?
you for being here. I know Brandon asked me about my thoughts about Ahsoka, so we'll get into them. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a link, pin link in the chat. It gives you a link to Stream Elements. You drop a donation, you put in a comment, we'll read it online. Appreciate everybody that does donate. It really helps out the channel. Um, yeah, I didn't. We've had this conversation before, and I even had this conversation prior. I had not watched Rebels. I had not watched the Clone Wars, other than the last season where you had the big Order 66 that was done in cartoon form with Ahsoka and Dark Maul and everything like that. I had really not followed the Clone Wars like that, and I was even talking to our good friend Brodney and telling him that now it makes me want to go back and watch all of Clone Wars and Rebels and all these things because it's just drawn me in more with these shows. So I kind of want to get into them and watch them. So obviously, when I have some time, I'm definitely going to be doing that. Now, um, I'm not as familiar with Clone Wars and all this stuff. So there was a lot of Easter eggs and things like that. A lot of questions I have because I wasn't too familiar. I know the gist of Rebels, the gist of the Clone Wars. I know some of the characters like Ezra. I know Kanan you were talking about because there's a big scene that's very emotional, things like that in the Rebels ending cartoon, and things like that with him. So I know some of the stuff. So I'm going in like half. Like I know what's going on, but I kind of don't know. So it's very interesting from my perspective because I'm kind of like, okay, cool. Um, I kind of do know what I know the story, but I don't. So I'm kind of learning as I go along. So I enjoy it. It's a very interesting dynamic to me. So before we get into spoilers, though, episode one, Master and Apprentice. Um, just give me your overall thoughts of the episode. Not really going into spoilers. Just just you sit down, you turn on the episode, and you feel the music come on, the crawl, which people are already complaining about. It's ridiculous. But give me your overall thoughts on that first episode, Jay.
My overall thoughts, I thought it was pretty good. Good introduction. Not diving all in, leaving questions for not even the second episode, but for further on. But building the suspense. I thought they did a good job with that. They know it was a long time coming. People, including myself, been waiting for this for a very long time, but they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, for sure. There was what I did like was they didn't just hit you with expedition and like exposition and hit you with, okay, hold up, let's catch you up on everything and here you go. Like it kind of like just continued. Like, so if you didn't know what was going on, you were kind of in the dark, but if you did, you could follow along. But it didn't make it so like it wasn't jarring, like, oh my god, I just don't know what's going on, who's who. Like you were able to follow along, but if you didn't know like Rebels and everything like that, then you were kind of like, okay, well, who's that, like, why are they important? But you'll learn as the episode goes on why this person is important, and they start to give you backstories of who is who and things like that. I agree. I think overall that first episode was very good. Like I said, there's already complaints about the crawl. People kind of get it, and that's like with any Star Wars movie, that's kind of like where, like, how you can catch up. So if you don't know what's going on, that crawl gives you information, which I'm fine with, like, because not everybody's a Star Wars fan, so they're not going to know what's going on. Like, again, I think Rebels and Clone Wars, there's episodes upon episodes. So if you don't have the time to watch them, how are you going to know what's going on? Well, the crawl helps you, gives you the important things that are going on. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it giving you that those points to help you understand what's going on. So I didn't have a problem with it. I think people are just over exaggerating. So I really enjoyed this episode. There were some cool things, some big moments, some emotional moments, especially again, if you know about Rebels, if you know about Clone Wars, there's some cool thing. I do want to say, look at I don't care what anybody says. Mary is Elizabeth Winstead. She was in Scott Pilgrim versus Rome. She was Ramona Flowers. She's in Hera in here in this episode. My God, she's amazing. She did some others like big other roles that I'm forgetting right now. Maybe if I can remember correctly, but I good lord, like she Birds of Paradise. She was the Huntress, and I just love everything she does. Um, since Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So she's an amazing actress. Obviously, Rose Dotson was is Ahsoka. A little people, because some people were complaining that she's a little stiff. Um, and I think like, okay, she's stiff, but like this is the first time for live action. This is where she, other than Mandalorian, she was kind of like only there for like an episode and then like a little bit of an episode. So this is like the first time we see her full time, and it really didn't focus on a lot of her. So I don't know how people are getting that she was like stiff and they didn't like her like man demeanors. I don't know. It's really weird, but I thought she did a great job. Obviously, Sabine, played by Natasha Borzi, Borzino, I can't pronounce the last name, is excellent. Ray Stevenson, Skull was amazing. Dina Lee, as Morgan, Elsbeth was amazing. Irina, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, as Shin was amazing. Like everybody, just to me, I liked everything that I saw from everybody in this episode, and their introduction was real powerful. So I'm liking what I see so far. But let's get into some spoilers here. So again, if you haven't watched it, this is a spoiler warning. We're going to start talking spoilers. So right off the bat, well, actually, we'll start with Balin Skull and Shin Hati. I don't know how to say the last name. If I pronounce it wrong, I apologize. There's a ship. They're talking about how the ship has a captured person they're going to be taken to trial, which obviously we find out is Morgan. The ship lands in the bay. They're talking about, oh, this is an old Jedi code, access code, and so they allow the ship to land. The captain, goes to meet, and you see these two hooded figures come, and they look obviously a little Sith, but not really. And they roll up and they introduce themselves, and then the captain's like, oh well, you're not a Empire, you're Empire, like you're not a Jedi. And then he obviously skull mothers the we are no Jedi, take everybody out. They get Morgan out. Morgan's like, all right, cool. Now we got to go do some stuff. Goes to Ahsoka. She's doing some Temple of Doom stuff. Shout out to Indiana Jones. And she finds this star map. And before she can get out, some assassin droids showed up, which have the droids evolved since Star Wars? Because I get it. It's new technology now, back to when it was in the 80s. But damn, like these are like assassin droids. When do we start having assassin droids? Like if we had assassin droids this whole time, well, we kind of did have assassin droids in Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, but they didn't move like this. Like these guys moved. Like yeah, they can kill people. So it's very interesting. But she gets away with the star map, and Hera hits her up and is like, "Yo, we have a situation." Tells her Morgan got away, the person that you captured. And she's like, okay, we'll figure it out. And she's like, by the way, I think they're going after Thrawn, and they need this map, but I don't know how to get to the map. Also, too, we might be able to find Ezra, which, if you don't know, spoiler at the end of Rebels, Thrawn and Ezra end up getting taken to a place called Pathway to I don't know how to pronounce it. Jay, maybe you can help me out here. I am bad. If you know me, I am bad with pronouncing stuff, but I'm gonna put it in a banner real quick because I didn't even think to do that. And if you're in the chat and you kind of know what this, but Pathway to Jay, help me out here. You're leaving me
I'm gonna
hanging,
say
Jay.
yeah, I'm gonna see a pathway to parody. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay, pathway to Paradia makes sense. We go with it. If it's wrong, then we're wrong. But basically, it is a place because in Rebels they explain it. It's a place between worlds. In this show, Morgan Conz explains it's across time and space. At the end of Rebels, this is supposedly where Ezra and Thrawn go. So we're kind of so we're like, okay, so this is where they're trying to get to. So Hera suggests that we need help, and she suggests Ahsoka go talk to Sabine. Which I know one of the complaints about this is the timeline, because in the show, Hera and Ahsoka are talking, and they said they haven't seen each other in a long time. But then when Ahsoka and Sabine are talking, it's been a few years. And so the timeline is kind of skew and loose when it comes to Star Wars right now. Also, to this timeline, where are we at? Because it's obviously, is this before she goes to meet Luke? Is this after she meets Luke? I mean, if you're gonna need some help, would you not want the at that time the most powerful Jedi to help you? Like let them know, like, hey, I don't know. I don't know when this I don't know when this timeline is. So we'll obviously we'll get a sense later on. Real quick, Kingslayer says, general question: how do you feel about the casting for the animated characters? What exactly do you mean? Because are you talking about Ahsoka? They should have casted Ahsoka's voice actor as Ahsoka, or can you give me a little bit more, so we can try to answer for you? But I hope you're having a great night, Kingslayer. Appreciate you. Ross, they've done well with capturing the essence of character somewhere. Yeah, I think they've done very well. I think you very much captured the essence. I know a lot of people, dude. Here's the thing about Star Wars, and I said this when we were talking about Mandalorian. People just want to complain about the most random shit. Like just want to complain, and they just complain about everything, and I don't know why they do that. It's such a frustrating thing, but I think they have. I think they have captured the essence of the characters that I have seen so far. Again, I'm not into Rebels. I didn't watch Clone Wars, so this is going to cause me to go back and watch those shows. I need to check the show out. You definitely do. Actors they use for live action to depict the Rebel. Yeah. Um, Again, I didn't watch Rebels and I didn't watch Clone Wars, so I'm not sure. Like Bo Katan was done by Katie Sackhoff, so she did the voice acting, but she also did the live action. She's done a great job. Um, I think unless you're going in a particular direction with the character, I wouldn't have a problem with them um, using the voice actor to play the live action version. Um, but I think also it comes down to like a physical trait, um, or they're trying to get some kind of a different side of that character to be shown. I think in this case with Dawson, they're trying to get her like as when she was young, she was more playful, jokey, things like that, and now she's older, so now she's more almost like the Obi-Wan kind of like demeanor, like very serious, very about business. It's things like that. Not really a Jedi, but really takes her everything seriously now. So I personally, that's what I think. But I wouldn't have a problem with it. Uh, I'm mostly concerned about Ezra's casting and Sabine. I don't know how I feel about either. Sabine, see, I like it. I like where they're going with the direction, but we didn't see a lot of her. We saw, I said that we saw that weak ass lightsaber battle. That looked like two people that didn't know how to fighting each other. Now, I'm not saying like the battle and how the actors portrayed it was bad. I'm saying you can tell they were both new at lightsaber battle. Like they ain't got training like everybody else. So like Ahsoka when she did her lightsaber battle, you're like, oh yeah, she's badass. These two, you're like, oh man, one just do a tricky move on them and then you got them. But apparently lightsabers don't do damage. You can get stabbed with one and be perfectly fine now. So um yeah, okay, yeah, they're both Padawans. Yeah, they're both Padawans, but you're so used to seeing, like, even when like Anakin was a Padawan, his lightsaber skills were great. You know, the only one where you were going, his lightsaber skills weren't good was Luke Skywalker, but then he developed them later. So yeah, I understand they're Padawans. I'm jokingly like, they weren't that good, but hey, it is what it is. I believe that the show is taking place in the time around the same time as season 3 of Mando. Okay. Yeah, but so then, but if you needed help, why wouldn't you go to Luke Skywalker then? So I think, well, they even said that the Empire has fallen. So yeah, you're right. It's in that timeline. I'm not. I was duh. Yeah, it's in that timeline. It just, the Empire's fallen. The New Republic's coming up. We do know that the First Order is out there starting to form. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. The voice actor for Ahsoka looks nothing like the character, so it would not have worked. Also, does not have a screen skills for live action. Doesn't have the screen skills for live action. Yeah, true, but you can. I'm sure Dawson isn't doing all the fighting scenes and things like that, so you can get a stunt double, things like that. I don't know. I mean, you could look at it 20 different ways. But like I said, I think what they were going for with an older Ahsoka is a more wiser kind of, having that wiser kind of
like
personality. Yeah,
demeanor.
demeanor, personality now, not the playful young teenage personality.
Because she's 60 grown.
Sabine is a Mando, so it makes sense she would lose to a Force user without is a Mando without consistent training. Do we know the Sabine to be Force sensitive, Jay? Because I know you were talking about that off camera.
Yeah, she's not.
We don't know. She's not Force sensitive.
No.
Okay.
But then what made me mad about that particular battle is in Rebels, she had a chance to learn a little bit of lightsaber technique, but she got so jealous of Ezra. She said, "Screw all this." And then when Ahsoka tried to be her master again, she said, "Screw this." Well, both of them said, "Screw it." So I feel like even the tiniest bit of training could have helped her in that battle. Because
apparently her training helped her enough, because she could take a lightsaber to the ribs and still live.
Well, I mean, yeah, like how we were talking before the show, I felt like, in my opinion, I felt like the Shin, the Sith Padawan, that didn't do a fatal blow on purpose. It felt like in that moment when she could have just stuck it through her chest, she hesitated and went to the side. I don't know why. Like that may have did that on purpose to draw something later on down the line. Because
there has been talks I've saw that people are saying, is she going to turn and have a redemption arc in this series, right, which I don't want. I just wanted them to stay bad or right, whatever they are.
You can't tell me like she just got finished murking, helping her master kill all those people on board, but you suddenly don't know how to do a death kill or a death blow. And that's where I stand on that. I feel like she missed.
Yeah, maybe she did it on purpose. King Slayer says, "I'm not saying to use voice actors. I'm asking if you feel they use the right actors in general." Without knowing, like watching Rebels and everything, I feel they got Ahsoka right. I like every actor they're using so far. So I'd probably be the wrong person to ask. I don't know if Jay's watched all of Rebels and everything like that, so maybe he would give more insight. But you would have to ask that with someone that's watched all the shows and followed along. For me personally, I don't know, but I like where we're at. I feel like I can connect with these characters and I like where they're going. So that's just me and everything like that. Brandon Bucks, Sabine has to be so 4/7. Why would Ahsoka train her? I don't know. That's the thing.
Well, there was the one part in the I think either this episode or the next one where they're both combined make one, whatever. But where the droid was talking to her and he had said that your force abilities is below par, pretty much to the point where she doesn't have any. And even in Rebels, even Kanan But it's like, hey, you don't really need to know wield the force to learn how to wield a lightsaber, which is true. Even
Yeah,
though,
which is a
because even in the Jedi's, young Jedi's or Padawans training, they learn technique first before they learn how to like force push or force like block or get out the way. And clearly,
right.
she could hold her own. She was holding her own for a little bit until she got stabbed.
She was doing a good job. And then she got murked, or she didn't get murked. She lived. What did you think of Baylan Skull and Shin? I love Brad Stevenson and how he portrayed, because you don't know if he's bad. You don't know if he's a Sith. Even though he kind of says he's not, but they're kind of in between. Like you get a sense of, okay, what's really going on here? Is he a person that left the Jedi Council because of disagreements, and things like that? You can obviously see in Shin, like you said, she may have hesitated when stabbing Sabine. She's not a bad person, but she's also not a good person. Like she's kind of going along, because she does give Skull some looks when he says stuff, or even ask him. And now go into the second episode why they're doing this and things like that. So she kind of asked him like, "Yo, what is the plan?" And so the looks that she's giving him kind of indicates that there's more going on than what we see. Uh, yeah, look at Bo-Katan and Mondo. They use lightsabers and don't have force. Yeah, for sure. It's sad Ray Stevenson died, so this is for him. Ray Stevenson died? Oh shit.
Oh yeah, sadly. Okay, at the end of either this episode, it said no for our friend Ray.
For our friend Ray, yeah.
And I was like,
oh wow, I even put two and two together. Duh. Balance of just wanting power makes sense as well, because of how powerless he was probably felt during Order 66. Yeah, that makes sense. I think maybe it's because with the Jedi, what's always conflicting about Jedi, we saw it with Anakin, we saw it with Ahsoka, is what is the right thing to do? The Jedi say this is the right thing to do, but sometimes it's not always that cut and dry. It's not all that black and white. It's a little gray there. And when there's gray, there's some Jedi that question that. And so I feel like this is one of those moments where they kind of question this. His character's has questioned it, but was pushed out because of questioning the motives of the Jedi and things like that. So, but Ross, I can see where you're coming from with that. So kind of back, give me your thoughts on these two characters, their introduction, and how you see going forward with their character arc. Do you think Shin is going to have a character arc almost like God damn it, what was her name in Obi-Wan? I can't think of her name. Oh my god, give me a second. Let me think of her. Let me get the name. But give me your thoughts on uh, um on these two characters. Real quick, Jay is taking care of some stuff.
man,
You're good, man. You're good. So as Jay takes care of some stuff, I'm just trying to look up the name. I couldn't think right now. Okay, we're here. Revan. That's who I was thinking of. Yes, Revan. Thank you. Thank you, Ross. Revan. Yes. Revan had that kind of redemption arc in Kenobi. Are we going to get the same redemption with Shin? And I hope not. I don't want to see that personally. I get that. I get that people liked those kind of arcs. Um I personally don't want to see it. I would rather see her just be a bad guy. Like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with her being a bad guy. I don't need to see a redemption arc. If she questions the motives of her master, I mean that's a typical Sith thing. It's happened before. We saw it with Palpatine We saw it with we've seen it with Dark Maul. We've seen it with Vader, questioning their master's motives. That's okay. I don't need to see a redemption arc with another master Padawan kind of dynamic. I'm okay with that. You good to go, Jay? Okay. Give me your thoughts on these two characters.
Balin, Shin. I don't know if they're all the way bad either, because there were some moments where they're even questioning. Balin was questioning Morgan's path, or to where trying to find Thrawn. Even when in part two, when he looked kind of sad, where it's like, yo, if I have to kill Ahsoka, it would be kind of kind of sad. And Morgan said, you kind of question, you getting sentimental. You're like, nah, man, it's just truth. But you can tell, like, is there something there? And like say yourself with Shin, yeah, she was giving him looks like, hey, man, I don't know about that. I mean, I know we're doing this for for whatever, but you can tell that she kind of doesn't really agree 100%, and that might throw a wrench down the road. Because history has shown in the other shows, even with Star Wars, if one person is not all the way through with something, that can screw up everything. Kind of how when Darth Vader, kind of wasn't all the way through with killing Luke, and he kind of suddenly had to change his heart at that last minute, screwed up everything. Now
Right.
Palpatine dead or at the bottom of you're pretty much dead with that blown up with the Death Star. So
Right.
so that's interesting though. How they portray that does kind of keep us in the dark, keep us in the loop, keep us questioning.
For sure. Kingslayer, I don't think Shin's story has developed enough to have a redemption arc. Absolutely. 100% agree with you. But they did that with Revan and Obi-Wan Kenobi, where you didn't think that, even though, and it was a powerful redemption story because she was one of the Padawans that was there for Order 66, and things like that. And and I think even, if I remember correctly, I haven't watched it in a while, and she saw Anakin and saw that what he did. So I agree with you. But it feels like this is what Star Wars does, and one of my critiques. But I hope they don't do that. I don't want to see that. So Shin has Padawan braid. I think Balin isn't a dark user. I think training her as a Jedi. And yeah, she may. I think he's training her as a Jedi, but they're in the middle where the thing that separates the Jedi from Sith is this obviously lust for power, things like that. And when you kind of say, like Dave Chappelle said,
because fuck them, that's why.
To the Jedi, you either go full Sith or you're kind of in the middle, which again we've seen this with Ahsoka. Ahsoka did the same thing. She was like,
because fuck them, that's why.
To the Jedi, and yet she's not a bad person. She's not killing people. Whereas Balin could be King Sarah says, a great Jedi, but he's gonna do whatever he can, no matter what. And so I feel like and it's almost like a parallel with Ahsoka and them, because Ahsoka did the same thing. She said, "Fuck the Jedi, I'm gonna do what I want. I don't agree with you guys," and things like that. Balin's doing the same thing, so it's almost a parallel. But it's, are you willing to do what you need to do, or are you on this side of the fence? So that's the way I see it, as they're both just kind of on riding the line of a Sith Jedi. They're just on the line, and sometimes you'll go on one side, sometimes you go on the other. So I get what you're saying, Kingslayer. Balin seems hesitant to wanting to kill Ahsoka, as there are a few Jedi left. True, he may want to try to recruit Jedi and say, "Look, we all saw why look what happened to the Jedi. They ran this path, and now it got everybody killed. So maybe we need to run this path and be more assertive and be more, hey, we're gonna do what we got to do." That may be a thing. I'm not really sure. Ross says, I like that Balin and Haiti are in between, makes them more unpredictable throughout the story. Absolutely, 100%. 100% agree with you there. Because you're like I said, you kind of don't know what is really going on. You're kind of just you're kind of just like there, and I'm okay with it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where the story goes. I'm liking it so far. Um, in the beginning, Sabine, and we're gonna kind of jump from back from episode to episode, but Sabine has a I have photos and everything, and I'm not using them. Hold up. Has a hologram of Ezra. And one of the points that Ahsoka brings up with everybody is they might be able to find Ezra and they might be able to bring him back. Um, do you feel they should bring Ezra back into the Star Wars universe?
I think it'll be a nice touch because you got everybody. You got Hera on screen, Ahsoka on screen, Sabine on screen. You saw keep forget his name the hairy ape dude. You seen him in the Mandalorian, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
kind of. Like you seen everybody on screen. So not if they don't do it, it's kind of for me. It'll be a slap to the face a little bit because that's for kind of like the whole reason why they are doing this. So not seeing them would be like a middle finger to everybody, well, to me at least. But I would certainly like to see what has happened between that time that's passed between Rebels and now. Like we've seen previews or photos of Thrawn, but we really haven't seen pictures of Ezra. So and they might have did that on purpose to kind of keep speculating like, yo, is Ezra going to be in here or not? Because we all know Thrawn's going to come back somehow, but how's Ezra? Is Ezra dead? What happened in that space or that the area that they went to? Like what happened? Because only those two know for right now.
Yeah. I disagree with Brandon here. I think yes, we will see Ezra in the finale, but I think we're going to see Thrawn probably in episode 6 or 7. I think because Ross says here, I am so glad show has 8 episodes. 6 is really short, especially if they have too many characters. Yeah, I do agree with you there. You want to be able to fit this story in because it looks like we're already going to see a battle in this next episode. In episode 3, we're going to see a big battle on that planet that they're at. Which is I wrote the name down. Where is it at?
Let's go with Cetos. Is it Cetos?
Cetos. Yes, Cetos. So on Cetos, I think we're already going to see a battle in the 3rd episode between Balin and Ahsoka, and possibly Sabine versus Shin
rematch.
Rematch of the century. I wanted to point out in episode 2, they're outfitting a starship with a new hyperdrive that can get to Thrawn's location. So we do know they're on Cetos, and Morgan does. You brought this up too. Morgan brings up the fact that she is a witch, and you kind of touched on it when we were waiting to start the show. That you also thought, or you told me that what was her name? That you thought it could possibly, because I was talking about the mask figure that was fighting Ahsoka, and you thought, you were thinking it was Huntress.
Yes, I was Ventress, but I forgot that
Ventress. Thank you.
I forgot she died. The final season of Clone Wars. I'm like, no, but that would be cool to see more of the sisters of Dathomir.
Which Morgan says she's part of, and because Shin even tells her, "Also, you're a witch," and she's like, "I'm a survivor." So she opens up the Stargate, and they talk about the pathway to Prydia, and they talk about that's where Thrawn is through time and space. Do you think that now, because they're talking about this starship being fitted with the new hyperdrive, so it's obviously they're going to have to go. I'm wondering if they're all going to work together. that Morgan's gonna tell Ahsoka and Sabine, "Yo, Ezra's alive and he's with Thrawn, and we'll give you Ezra if you go with us and help us." And now you have Shin, Balin, Ahsoka, and Sabine with Morgan going to get Thrawn and Ezra. Now that I think about it, that I think that might be a possibility. That this battle's gonna take. We're gonna get an episode 3 battle, but then Morgan's gonna be like, "Yo," because she remember she's sitting there. She goes, "Thrawn is talking to me.
Right.
I can hear him." If Thrawn tells her, "Yo, tell them that you're gonna need their help, but tell them that Ezra's alive here with me, and we'll give him Ezra if they help you get here." Food for thought. Well, people die and come back on Dathomir. Look at Darth Maul. Very true.
Buffalo different though. His like he said in Clone Wars, he's fed on what vermin and hatred. So that's just different.
Chopper's on point. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's say look at Sebastian Press after he was like his arm got cut off and he died. What happened to him? Man was
Chopper. God, I'm sorry, Jay. I keep cutting you off.
No, yeah, it was after Sebastian Press got his arm chopped off and he died. You know, he got buried on, I think, back on his home planet. And that was it.
Yeah. Chopper's on point. Always wanted to blow stuff up. Yeah. But doesn't the fact that we know how Force Awakens play out kind of ruin the fate of some of the characters? Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's very weird. The timeline is screwed. You know. I tell you, and this is kind of being toxic, and I don't want this to happen, but I feel like maybe it could be a possibility. What if they decided, like, you know what, those 3 Star Wars, but see, it doesn't make sense because they're doing Rey's coming back.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know where they're going to go with all this. Do they all get trapped where Thrawn is? That's why we don't see him in Force Awakens? Because I do believe we see one of the ships, the ghost ship, in Rise of the Skywalkers or something, when that big battle happens. I do believe we see that, but I'm not. Tell me if I'm wrong. So yeah, it's again. I said this in the beginning. They're real loose with the timeline. Got people that have come back. Could be Barris probably, and she goes way back with Ahsoka. True. So one theory some are saying is this show and film will retcon the sequel trilogy. That's one, but then that doesn't make sense because Rey is coming back for a show or a movie. So why would they retcon it? Now if they did retcon it, let me tell you, all the toxic Star Wars nerds are going to be happy. They retcon the trilogy, which I don't want to see. I don't want to see that happen, but maybe they're just cutting. This is just cutting their losses, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna retcon this." So I don't know. Kingstar said, "Yeah, Ghost is in the battle at the end of Skywalker, but we don't know who's piloting it." Why not? What's up, yo? What's going on? How you doing? I hope you're having a great night. We are talking Ahsoka spoilers, so if you have not seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but make sure to come back and check us out. If not, if you've seen it, don't care about spoilers, hey, welcome. Hope you're having a great night. So it's very interesting on what they're going to do, where we're going to go with this, because you're right, Kingslayer. Didn't the the sequels already kind of, unless they all get trapped with Thrawn, it doesn't make sense. Like, why wasn't then Ahsoka, Hera? Maybe Hera was there, but maybe why wasn't Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra? Where's Thrawn? Wouldn't Thrawn have taken over the First Order? Things like that. I don't know. So we're gonna have to kind of see. This is kind of dope because we're guessing, and we're gonna find out eventually. But we gotta find out where the story goes. So it's gonna be very interesting. Notorious Ninja, thank you. Hope you have a great night, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here and watching. Hope you're having a great night also. It was crazy to think that took them to different pergoli. I don't know what that. Sorry, I'm horrible with pronouncing stuff. I'm sorry, I'm horrible. Took them to a different galaxy. Maybe. Thrawn is a major villain in Star Wars lore, so I hope they do him justice. Yeah. I mean, that was going to be my next topic. It all leads to Thrawn. You know, we know he's in here. We know he's in the show. They have pictures of him. It all leads to Thrawn. So where do you think Thrawn's going to fit in on this? You know, even in the lead up, we hear Ahsoka talk about Thrawn being heir to the Empire, which is a book that was a major best-selling book about Thrawn, which was not canon for the longest, until they're obviously bringing Thrawn in and things like that, and then also Dave Filoni bringing Thrawn into the cartoons. Where do you think this Thrawn storyline is going to lead, and are they going to do him justice?
I think they are going to try to do him justice. It also kind of makes sense of the movies as well. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but no, I got faith in Dave Filoni. He the goat, so he'll figure it out. But yeah, I think he's gonna come back, stir stuff, shake some things up. Get the Empire back to where it was. There'll be a big battle, big turn of events, blah blah blah. More episodes, more shows, more seasons. More money for everybody. So they could go that way.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to our cousin Davon. What's going on, brother?
Appreciate it, man.
Hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Why not? I have to go. All right, why not? Have a great night. Be safe. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you for stopping by.
Really do appreciate it. Yeah, I think it all leads to Thrawn. And again, like Kingslayer was saying, because we know what's going on with the sequels, so something's getting retconned. I feel something's gonna get retconned. That we know. Something's gonna get retconned. What? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know what's gonna get retconned because it just seems like something something's gonna get retconned. I just don't know what. And I just feel that's what's gonna happen. Like it just feels, that is what's just feels like that's what's gonna happen. That they're gonna do some kind of retcon to fit, so that way everything will fit within the timeline. He can't be one and done in the series. Maybe he go deep into space to regroup and learn from his mistakes from the Empire and the First Order. Yeah, and then you bring him along after the First Order. That would make sense. And I don't know as far as how he ages, where he's at, if he ages too bad. So that definitely could be a thing.
Or how Ezra ages, because in the picture he does look kind of. I mean, I know you can't really compare animated to live action, but he does look noticeably older, or that's just the actor that's playing them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm assuming they're both older since everybody else in the show has gotten older. You've seen Ahsoka's clearly older. You've seen Hera is clearly older. So why not both of them? Or do we know does that where they were took? Does it prevent aging or
maybe? Ross says they did mention that cares who Thrawn always odds with. Is that who was in the Mando? Ross, if you can clarify. I believe I agree with you. I know we saw in Mando they bring up Thrawn.
All right.
So yeah, so this is around the time that of Mando, which would make sense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go with this. I just don't know. I don't know.
That's why I like it. Because everything's up in the air. There's so many questions. There's so many ways you can go.
Yeah, and that's what I'm enjoying is the unknown. So, I think the series ends with all of them stuck in another galaxy. The film starts after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Could be. Ahsoka might die because Rey hears her as a Force ghost. That is very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Might be sad.
That's very true. So there's a lot. Now we'll kind of get into this last topic we want to talk about here. What do you hope to see, Mr. J? And in the chat, let us know. What do you hope to see? What's something you want to see? Let us know what you want to see.
What do I want to see? Low key, I kind of, you know how they be doing like kind of with crossovers with the Book of Boba Fett. That you see Mando in his show, then you see Ahsoka and the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like low key. I kind of want all these characters, kind of like how the MCU is doing, like kind of like a Avengers type, you know, where they all kind of like just clash together at one point and just kind of like just duke it out. Like you see, oh man, this character from this show, this character from this movie, this show, and just like all they just have all this galactic battle, you know, just to decide it all. But I know that's kind of far fetched. That's kind of like a fan fiction down the road. But
I mean, they did it with Marvel.
Yeah,
they did it with Marvel. So you never know if they can do it or cannot do it.
Yeah, might even see Ray, you know, one of these shows that'd be wild as hell.
Yeah, but you would see a young Ray, right. Or Ray before she starts figuring out she's Jedi. Kingstar says, I want to see more Jedi like Cal Kestis. So we see Cal, and that would be a big Easter egg and something like that. That would be very interesting to see. I do want to see more Jedi. I like to see Mando in an episode just to see him.
But Mando really can't fight. Like this is, I feel like this right here is above him. Because I said in other videos that we recorded that Mando don't have the hands. You could,
right? He be catching them hands,
right? And improved like in that scene alone. She got more hands than him. Like he has heart.
I don't know if you can hear it in Jay's voice, but Jay thinks Mando doesn't have hands.
He doesn't.
Just to let you know, Jay does not think he has hands. And
now you're dealing with people with that using lightsabers, they're using the Force. He's gonna, in my opinion, if you see him for longer than 5 minutes, he's gonna die. Like this is above him.
This is above his pay grade.
Yes.
That's funny.
This is not the Darksaber. These are real. Like these are Force wielding, Force sensitive. We could probably push your ass off the cliff, explode your jetpack, Force lightning. You know,
right? Yeah, I agree with you. I do want to see other Jedi. I want to see where this goes. I want to see Ezra. And I like Kingstar says, I don't want to see this as a one-off for Thrawn. I want to see him they build off of that, because you can build off his character from Rebels. You can build off of him at a storyline and start a new storyline. So I kind of want to see that. But we will see. I don't. Again, I'm not a Rebels expert. I haven't really watched Rebels. But we will see where we go with this. Yeah, I think for now, I think that's pretty much it. If we miss something, I'll give you a couple minutes for the chat. If we miss something, you want to ask questions, or want to give our thoughts on something you saw, let us know. Put it in the chat. I appreciate it. Good. Episode 3 comes out next week. I don't know if we're gonna do a live. I think we may just do a recording and release it. I don't know yet. If you want us to do live, let us know. If you want us to record, let us know. Tell us, give us a thought of what you want us to do. I don't mind doing either one. It's just we're gonna be doing this late at night. So if you're up hanging out, no problem. We appreciate you. If you're not and you want to watch it on replay, then we'll do that. We'll do it anywhere you like. We are here for the people. So we're We are the people pleasers. Before we get out of here, Jay, is there any final thoughts you want to give on Ahsoka? Give me your rating for it. Let me know what you thought about. What's a rating? Give us the JayThe6 rating, the most important rating on the internet.
I don't know, but I appreciate it, man. But I liked it. It left us, like I said before, it left us in the dark. Number for it, what, the 8.5 out of 10. I didn't really like how that battle between the Padawans went. You looked at the lightsaber, you knew it was Ezra's. All that time you spent rejecting how to use it. Now you got to, and you could have done better. So that's just like my personal gripe about it. But as far as that scene, with her cutting off the hair, kind of sentimental, kind of teared up a bit because Kanan was an important character. If you've seen ever watch Rebels, you'll see why the character development to his last not battle but sacrifice for a team. He kind of developed as a friend, as a father. So when Ren does the hair, cutting off her hair, I'm like, oh man, Kanan did the same thing, but only him, he was blind. So. And then,
so you probably missed some spots in the back.
Yeah.
Kingslayer says it's late for me, but I love talking Star Wars. I appreciate you, Kingslayer. I know you're more of an East Coast area, but I appreciate you staying up to talk to us. We'll try to maybe get a little early. It's a little tough because kids are running around sometimes, and you obviously saw Jay had to step away for a second. Any thoughts on my theory about Ahsoka sacrificing herself for Sabine as a future? No, I agree with you. I'm sorry I missed that comment. I agree with you. I think that might happen. That might.
I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. But I
just when you mentioned that we hear Ahsoka's voice in Rise of Skywalker, you're 100% right. That could be the reason she sacrifices herself. God damn, this Scar. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, don't drink wrestle at 40 years old, because then you get thrown into a wall and you end up with this thing. I didn't know it was still that bad.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah, Ahsoka's so for me, Ahsoka's so resilient, and we see her grow and be gone through so much, to survive Anakin / Darth Vader and live. What kills her? Literally, what kills her? It better be something, big, heroic, important. All the above. It better not be one minuscule thing either.
Ends up being a red Jetta with a guy with a double barrel shotgun leaning out the window, and all you hear is Ricky. Absolutely. I did want to mention though, we didn't really talk about it because it's in the promotion. Anakin Skywalker. He has been mentioned. He's a couple times in these episodes. We do know he's in here. Are you excited to see Hayden Christensen? Are you worried about seeing Hayden Christensen? What do you think about Hayden Christensen reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker?
Hayden Christensen.
That's Anakin Skywalker, basically.
I'm not worried. For me, I'm kind of tired of seeing him. I'm kind of tired of seeing him. We all know how he dies. We see him a little bit in Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was a great scene, by the way, between him and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, it's not your fault. You see bits of Anakin come back for 5 seconds, but then you see Vader completely take over. That was a beautiful scene. But it's what's the word I'm looking for? Overload of Anakin. If we do, hopefully it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, because we know that Ahsoka and Anakin were real close. And King says it has to be a flashback. I'm assuming it's a flashback, but because they were so close, I'll say this from two sides, story-wise and actor-wise. Hayden Christensen was really very villainized. Not villainized, but very almost cancel culture before cancel culture or on him, because we see that with a lot of Star Wars actors who play characters. He was treated unfairly. You know about the little boy that played Anakin Skywalker, and then obviously Hayden Christensen played the older Anakin Skywalker. And when he came back, the love that he got was tremendously overdue, especially when he played Vader and Obi-Wan and all that stuff. So I think that I think you're right. I just think Disney is trying to make amends and make like almost like, hey, we're showing you so much of Hayden Christensen because we just kind of want to be like, yo, we feel like crap for what you went through, and I think that's why they're doing it. Story wise, we don't need a lot of them because we have seen a lot of them, but um I think that we're gonna get a decent amount of Hayden Christensen in flashbacks. So we'll see what happens. Jake Lloyd, young Anakin, ended up in jail. Is that true? That's crazy. We'll look that up.
I did not know that.
This is why the internet is around. Yep, sure did. Arrested. Released a video of a high-speed chase.
Oh wow! Ooh.
Attempted to pull him over. Lloyd was remaining in jail today, according. Yeah, you don't look good. You don't look good. That sucks. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
I'm glad to do
that was a huge So I think Disney is just trying to make amends with a lot of these actors that got really bullied in Star Wars.
And Jar Jar a fan favorite, so the hate on on the actor just evil.
This is a bad joke. He was just pod racing. Great, what King, you get the joke of the night. That was great. I honestly really don't want any more of Skywalker stuff. It's time to move on already. The VH6
I agree. Yeah,
working after a while. I don't mind, but you're right. It is getting a little old, and like all of a sudden now, summer has become really cold. All of a sudden now, I'm cold. You're absolutely right. I agree with you there. That it has gotten a little stale with the Skywalker saga. So hopefully, with the introduction of Thrawn, we go in that kind of direction. Maybe another direction with Ahsoka and some of these new stories and movies that are and shows that are going to come out. Right now we got 7 people watching us across Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I really appreciate all of you. It is kind of late. It is around 9:30 here, which means it's about 11:30 in Jay's area and about 12:30 possibly where King is. Ross, I don't know if you're East Coast. Buck, I know you're, and Buzz, I know you're a few hours ahead. So everybody that's in here, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming to hang out, talking with us about Star Wars. Again, let us know in the comments if you want us to go live next week, or do it episode and just record it. We do not mind. Just let us know what you want to do, and we'll try to go a little earlier, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier. We'll see what we can do. We'll try to accommodate. We're here for the people. Jay, let people know where they can find you at, where they can find your content, and what they can look forward to while watching you. Yes, and before you answer, Jay, of course, this guy wants us to go live. But go ahead.
Clearly, Pillow wants to, or Ross wants us to go live too. So, I guess we're going live then.
Yes, we're going live.
But yeah, JayThe6. Type in JayThe6, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. It should be me. If it's not, report that channel. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it should be me though. I'll do a channel. I'll do an episode. I try to do every Thursday, Friday, give or take, because you see, I got kids running around everywhere. What can you expect? I'm a Panther, Lakers YouTube channel, but I do talk about anything and everything, that's going on across the world.
Wait. What did you say? What did you say you are?
So I'm a Panthers and Lakers fan. Oh man,
the Panthers.
Well, they're just gonna get it right. They're just gonna get it right. They can. They're gonna get it right, man. They're gonna get it right. But,
well, hold up. As soon as Ronnie heard you say that, he said,
"Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right."
bad. Go ahead, Jay, my bad.
No, you good, man. But yeah, the Panthers are gonna get right. Bryce Young's gonna be fantastic. It might be we might have to wait till next year to see the progress. But this year is gonna be rough. I know it is, but I'm gonna keep my head up about it. But yeah, definitely come check me out. Now I need to post more content, so that's why you haven't really the YouTube or whatever algorithm. But I do mostly do my stuff on Twitch, so come watch your game. And I'll probably be doing stuff like this with Suge and other people as I have many interests.
Yes, definitely do. If you don't peep right behind him, all those shoes, he has a collection. Is that all cleaner on the right side of you? Well, left side of you, right side of me? Is that all cleaner? That side?
Yeah, it's red dye. Some of it is cleaner, red dye. I'll be dyeing some stuff, just trying to out of boredom. Tie dye. If something's bleached, like my kids be bleacher, getting into stuff, I be having to redo the color. So that's what that is.
Mostly. Yeah, but if you can't see, Jay is a sneakerhead. If you want to know anything about sneakers, talk to Jay.
I only have those 4 boxes. So I don't know.
Yeah, and for me, Suge Knight 323, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter. You can also find me at Twitter and TikTok, Suge Knight 323. It is scrolling up there. Suge Knight 1323 on TikTok. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Suge Knight 323 on TikTok and Twitter. Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch, where I'm usually playing Apex or Magic the Gathering tournaments, especially this Saturday or Sunday. I'll be playing one. There's a big one coming up that I got to get ready for. So come check that out, support that content. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. Again, thank you very much. You will be seeing us. I like what kind of Kingslayer was saying. I don't mind live if I can make it or do every 2 episodes. If you all have scheduling issues, we could do 2 every episodes. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll see. Let us know in the comments if you're rewatching this. Again, appreciate everybody here. I know it's late, but I do appreciate everybody hanging out and checking us out tonight. We want to thank everybody who was in the chat. Thank everybody that came to hang out. You guys have a great night. Be safe. We'll talk to you later. See you next time.
Come on.